Do I have you guys muted? Maybe I don't have my audio set up correctly in this. Ah, that would be why. Aha, I have a Skagif.
Hello.
Hello, Skagif. Now I hear you. That was my bad. I just set up Zoom for the first time on this PC, so it's defaulted to shit audio settings. How you doing, Skag?
I'm really good, actually. I've been setting up a couple of things before the stream here, so everything goes smoothly.
Things and stuff. So, Skag, whilst I'm getting these lovely, there we go, lovely gents' faces in the right places, why don't you tell us a little bit about the world in which we're playing today in Dawnbreaker, because it is an interesting one.
Yeah, it's kind of flat. It has a couple of buildings and a couple of ceilings.
I saw a tree there once. Well, it's flat now. It used to have like a lot more buildings, and then it just all kind of leveled out in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure. So we are playing a steampunk D&D, a lot of homebrewed. The players have been reading up on all sorts of different classes, so there are no like rangers or druids or stuff like that. So it's a mix of both homebrew and this is a completely another nation. And the last kind of episode, first episode, everything became like a big war in the nations here. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we go through.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, I'm starting to get faces in the right places. So we have some folks with us today. Of course, we have the gentleman and scholar Ishman back with us today. What's up, Ishman?
Not much. How you doing, Will? Congratulations on starting the stream with a nat 1.
Thanks, buddy.
That was a good time.
So, so tell us, who are you going to be playing today?
I am playing Theodore Patrick King, also known as Theo, also known as TK, hopefully not known as TPK. He is a gunslinger human, pretty badass in most respects, in love with his firearms, and you'll soon fall in love with him too.
Yes, indeed. Okay, awesome. We have Zartard back with us today. What's up, man?
I am sick as shit, and I've been up for more than 24 hours, but I'm ready to do this.
That's the spirit. So, who will you be playing today, sir? No. For once, it's not me. It's not. Okay. Well.
Right, second that one out of the way.
There we go.
Face. Perfect.
Oh man. All right. Let's go up to Raffian. So, Raph, how you doing, my man?
I am ripped, ready, and roaring, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to know my character? Or did you?
I do. Yeah. Tell us who you.
I care about you too. I mean.
Thanks, man.
Did I just zap out?
You did.
You were gone, dude.
I'll just go.
We'll get you.
As usual, I'll handle the rear.
So Raffian, who are you going to be playing today?
I am playing Elijah Castle. Elijah Castle is he's a tank character, so your basic fighter, except this fighter doesn't go for damage, he goes for defense. His main goal is protecting everyone else and tanking all their damage. So he favors the shield as his weapon.
Nice. Okay, awesome. We have Kevin with us today. How's it going, Kevin? From
Doing well. How are you?
The all-star cast of experience points. Woo! So, Kevin, who are you going to be playing today, sir?
I will be playing Fable Brandywine, the resident psychic or scion, or however you want to call him.
Nice.
And he shoots things with mind bullets.
Oh my god. Mind bullets. And what's his first name again?
Fable Brandywine.
Fable. Okay, cool. Excellent. Awesome. So, Trevor, let's try this again. So, hey, Zartard! Thanks for making the stream.
Oh, hi! It's so nice to be here.
So, who are you going to be playing today?
I'm playing Zani Warmbrooder. He is a geeky little fellow that's trying to follow in his big war-hardened father's footsteps. So instead of using his brawn, which he has none, he's using his alchemical powers of the mind to try to enhance his abilities through a mishap, as most do with alchemy. He lost his arm, and Boris's father attached a war machine arm to him, and we have outfitted it for alchemical purposes.
Yeah.
So
Just normal, just guy things, really. Just bro things.
just dude bro things. You
Two
know.
bro things. Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Indeed. So speaking of Boris, I will be playing Boris today. He's an engineer, all British engineer, and he's never really lived up to his father's name. His father's a very famous engineer, and Boris is kind of just a dude who thinks that he's great, and everyone thinks that he's great because he has his father's reputation, but in reality, he all he's created is some pigeons which are meant to fly but are just two lumps of metal currently. So he's working on it, but that's who Boris is. So Skag, I suppose we should do a kind of catch up as to last week, because we only had one session, so we haven't got too much to be doing in terms of catch up. So tell us, why don't we dive in, if you want to do it collaboratively or whatever, about what happened last time here.
Yeah, so I believe a couple of the players who recently arrived in the stream here, you've seen the board and whatever. But in short, we came to a place where peace was actually something that has been going on for quite some time.
Yes.
The players are the children of very prominent and really big named heroes of their time, tracing back like 20, 30 years or so, depending a little bit. The game started out with the mayor contacting the two of Theodore and Boris,
Yes.
saying their war machines have been tampered with, or maybe even one of them being stolen. And he doesn't really want to make it known that it's been tampered with, so he sent the players down and check it out. Coming down to the sewers or whatever, the passage down, they found out that there were actually a lot of bandits in these
Yes.
tunnels. So the Theodore and Boris had to dispose a couple of them, and all of a sudden they came into this huge hangar area where there were these war machines. And the war machines were not 15 as the mayor has been saying all along. It's been 15 and reproduced to about 300 of them.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of bad guys in that hangar, and they had an airship, so they have found a way to come and dock without the mayor knowing.
Yeah.
And Boris jumped into a war machine and disposed of both the airship and the bad guys.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I went kind of full Darth Vader, I guess more like Palpatine mode really, and just started like blowing up all of these machines, and kind of going a little bit power mad last time, and then I definitely got a real high off of that. And then Ishman, do you remember what happened when we went to see the... before we met the mayor, we met a different guy, right? It's like a dodgy guy.
Yeah, Pierre.
Pierre, yes. Pierre, who definitely should have been French in my mind. So Ish, why don't you tell us what went on with Pierre after we destroyed the machines?
Me tell?
Yeah, you tell.
Oh, dude, I shot his leg off. he shot our good Mr. Mayor in the face, who survived because our mayor is a badass, and I shot Pierre's leg off and then killed him because fuck that guy. He's awful.
Yeah, and do you remember the reason why he did that? Because we made an agreement with him, which we may have definitely broken.
Well, I don't think he was gonna follow through with that anyways, because he seemed just like an overall dick.
Yeah,
But he was, from what I understand, like an agent of an enemy nation, just trying to either weaken our nation's defenses or steal some of our stuff. Either way, he was working for the enemy. He was a mole. We told him that we wouldn't tell him what we found about Machine 7, and we said fuck it because Mr. Mayor's our friend, and gotta be true to your friends.
Exactly, yeah. So the mayor got fucking shot in the head, and then Skag was like, nah, he's fine. Like he's alive still. So we're like, fuck, okay. So
he's actually, his new name is the One-Eyed Mayor.
The One-Eyed Mayor, yes indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And so he got shot last time, but he's okay. Nobody panic, okay? But then we went outside, and now it's time to panic, because when we stepped outside, we saw like thousands of machines and like mechs in the sky floating to come and fuck us. So basically we were like, oh shit, Mayor, and that's where the the episode ended with us looking at the attacking nation. The Fire Nation are of course attacking us. So yeah, that's about where we are, I think. So everything changed, man. Me and Boris and Theo are standing next to the dying mayor who's been shot in the face, and there's an attacking nation of ships coming in to attack our own nation. So yeah, cool. Zany, isn't it? So Skag, I guess before we dive into today's session proper, I should remind you guys of a few ways you can interact with the show. Initiating panic mode, good idea. A few ways you can interact with the show. If you haven't followed yet, hit that follow button and join us. We hit 5 more followers today. You guys in the chat get to decide something which happens to our players. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. You guys decide and we have to just roll with it. So let's see if we can't make that happen. Speaking of which, thank you to Gronk for following. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar. If you guys haven't retweeted yet, we were doing awesome on the retweets a minute ago. I have to go check those. When it hits 20 retweets, we get another viewer decision, and we get one more Patreon. On the Patreon, you guys get the same thing to happen. So, yeah, 16 out of 20 wishes. God damn. You can, of course, donate to affect the show. You can give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and far, far worse. So, let's make sure to throw some madness at these guys, because it's some of these guys' first session. Me and Ish, we're, you know, we're pros. But these guys, we gotta break them in hard, you know.
Wait, who are you guys, and who are we breaking in hard?
Don't worry about that. We'll
break me hard.
Just sit back on the black couch and relax. So Skagath, take us away.
So it's been a little while. There is actually something that I need to.
That's something that I need to
I
do.
sent to you a couple of questions, and you should have had the time to actually look it through.
I seem to remember looking this through at a date which I don't remember.
I promised myself I would look it through. Oops.
What's that text?
I promised Skagath I would.
I feel bad already.
Break him
I
in
got
hard.
you. I'll throw it up in.
All
I'll throw it up in the Zoom chat.
right, cheers. Do you want us to answer these? Do you want us to go around and ask these questions now?
Yeah.
I did this.
I can actually tell them out loud.
Yeah.
And everybody can hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
The first question is basically, what did you do under the first waves of war? Reminded that the war that came in the first episode have now been a couple of weeks ongoing. And ongoing is that the first couple of days, the airship came in and they did like airdrops with troops to ground, and they basically just did a blitzkrieg, threw down bombs and shot a lot of cannons. So it was really hard the first couple of days. Leading upwards, the mayor kind of got a little bit better and started to react on the threat, and actually outfitted the old airships of the Navy. So we actually pushed them back a little bit, but still there were a war ongoing. So a lot of damage had been dealt, and now a couple of weeks later, there are still a war. There are a threat. The city as a whole is more secure than it's been throughout the weeks.
Good.
So there's no war on the streets, but it really shows on the streets that it has been a war.
Right. So we're kind of like in London during the bombings. There's still a war.
Oh no, we're in America. It's just everybody speaks British. Don't get confused.
Everyone speaks Swedish in this.
And well, I'm a little offended that you spelled my name wrong.
Well, that's what you get, and it's remaining that way.
Zanie.
That's
It's the Swedish translation of your name.
There we go. That's,
Yeah, the Swedes.
I fixed it.
Damn
Don't
the
worry.
Swedes.
I fixed it. All right.
Perfect.
So perfect Swedes, he says. So do you want us to?
Classic maneuver.
I could go back to the first question.
Yeah.
Is what did you do under the first waves of war? Did you become the fighter, a savior of people, or trying to like escape, or something completely different?
Okay.
The second question is like, describe in short a memory of the first days. Maybe you lost someone, had a hard battle, found a relic, whatever it would be. And the last one is kind of summarizing it all with, now it's been a couple of weeks, what is our main objective moving forward?
Sure. Okay. I'll take the first one then. So, what did I do on the first waves of war? Boris became like an engineer in the employ of the army. So basically, what he'd do was when we managed to shoot down like enemy ships or take them down in any way, he'd go inside, scrap them, and take all the parts from those ships so that we could use them against them. Because we didn't have the same technology that they did. So the idea would be to kind of steal what they have and use it against them. Then to the second question, describe in short a memory of the first days. I think the first days of the war, Boris and Theo just kind of ran of the mare to look to protect him. And I'm going to say he's made a friend in she's a medic. You can decide whatever her name is. But basically Boris was shot in the arm, and his arm is like completely stiff and doesn't really work particularly well at the moment. But just gotta rub that in. And this medic girl like saved my life basically, and she didn't have to. So that would be my memory. And in terms of a couple of weeks was my main objective, keep the mayor alive and win the war and become greater than my father ever was. More powerful than I could possibly imagine. Probably
power hungry motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gone pretty power hungry ever since the whole incident before. Alright, so let's go down to Zartad. So Zany, why don't you answer those questions for us, sir?
Well, during the first part of the war, Zani was looking at you, Will, was desperately trying to figure out a way to become like his father, but having the physical inequalities, I guess, of his father, he used his mind. He used alchemical practices and alchemy to try to better himself, but through a mutagen, I ended up with a tentacle for a left arm with a mind of its own. So he amputated that rather amateurly and sought out Boris's father for help. Boris's father outfitted him with a war machine arm that then they both, for the better part of the war, tinkered with to accommodate alchemy into it. So the arm, he uses it to throw bombs like a grenade launcher, and he also has his spells that he uses, or his potions that he creates, and it launches from there as well.
Pretty cool.
The second part, what was the second question?
Describe a scene or encounter that something happened in the first few days.
A short memory of the first days, if you lost someone, had a hard battle, or found a relic, etc.
Oh, yeah. I lost my arm.
Oh, shit.
It's like,
I gotta say, you're describing your character, and it's almost like, I don't know, halfway between Edward Elric and just Barrett from Final Fantasy. So like this big burly dude, like with magic and stuff. Sorry.
Yes. I was totally channeling Edward, but yes, he lost his arm in an attempt to better himself for war. So I guess he friendly fired himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh damn. Rip.
As far as, and the last question was, what do I see in the future, basically, or what am I striving for?
Yeah, goals.
I've got two fathers to live up to. I have to live up to Boris's father for helping me become the father, or to help me become the warrior that my father wanted me to be.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
It's okay to have two dads, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's themed. It's themed.
It's a brave new Victorian age.
It really is.
Very Victorian.
So, Ishman. Oh, wait, no. Elijah wants to go next, right?
No.
Someone's go next. You want to go next.
I do.
All right, cool. You go next.
So first, one thing that you'll need to know is long time ago, shortly after the first war, Elijah, who you'll meet in a second, actually moved in with my mother, my father, and myself. He'll explain all the why. But so for me, after the first waves of war hit, we took care of the mayor. I ended up taking care of Boris for a bit because he got shot in the arm like a baby. And so it was mostly just trying to get some people settled down. But once I did,
I always shoot my babies in the arm.
I mean, yeah. That's pretty much what happens weekly on this stream, isn't it?
True.
Right? But so right after we got some stuff figured out, troops started rally, I immediately, my thoughts turned to my family, including my brother Elijah. I made it a point to go straight there, to which I arrived at my house finding both Elijah and my mother trapped under the rubble of our home. My father, who of course was the war hero, who I kind of hate living under the shadow of, was nowhere to be found. I was able to pull Elijah out. He was generally unscathed, but unfortunately my mother had seemed to pass just moments before I arrived, even still a tear streaking down her cheek. So I was very distraught. I kind of rolled into a very dark place, Theodore did, and spent the next few days preparing myself to just rip a hole in the enemy. I'm out for blood, so spent a few days with myself and Elijah just preparing, and I made some ammunition, got myself a fun new toy to unleash on our enemy. So
nice.
I guess my main objection is just go out for blood.
Yeah, cool. All right, so Elijah, speaking of man.
Yes, that is me. All right, so the first one, now I gotta go back and look at these. So the first one is, yes, when the first waves came down on the city, what was my guy doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, when the city first faced down the first waves of war, my character, who had been nicknamed the Warden, took up his shield and went to the front, pledging to protect those people, even if it cost him his own life. However, the first battles were costly and devastating, facing down the onslaught, watching, bodies after bodies just fall around him, his whole goal being to protect his people, but, failing in doing so, just not being able to save everybody, watching them fall, really took a toll on him. So I guess that kind of goes into the they had in the beginning is just losing all his friends around him that he's trying to battle with and help. So that kind of goes into the memory as well, and what I was doing. I was definitely a fighter at the front, and the memory is losing my friends. And then nice. Over the weeks that followed, he kind of took to the taverns, took to the drink, and became a proper drunk. But then going back to Theo's backstory here, when it goes to finding his mother, I had actually come home where they had been raising me because my family was dead. I went back home, but I was drunk when this happened, and I wasn't able to protect her, and so she passed away, and I was supposed to be there protecting her, and so now that's taken a huge toll on me as well. So while Theo went out and started prepping for war, I kind of went on that mindset too, and got my shield and gear ready and started training for battle once again.
Nice, awesome. And finally, Fable.
I believe that Fable, in the first question, sorry, all of a sudden I'm lost. Under the first waves of war, Fable was kind of living off of his parents' kind of success, since we all are kind of derivative of these great heroes. They've amassed a large sum of money, so he was just living on the estate. I think because he grew up inside of the city, surrounded by all the coal and everything, he's always been kind of sickly. so he's had to stay in most of his life.
Yeah.
Cough. He's got the cough, but he's got a really bad habit with the pipe because the doctor tells him this is what's going to save him.
Science.
Now, smoke a pack a day, you resolve your lung issues.
Yeah.
So he lost his estate during the first few days of war. He did. They had like a bomb shelter thing. Once the bomb started falling, that all of his servants and everyone kind of went to, and he released them because he's known them his entire life. He's like, go find your families, help them out. And so that was kind of the first few days. And now his whole, his house is rubble. So he's been kind of walking around trying to figure out a way out of the city with the rest of the masses. Not necessarily looking to become a hero, but because of the abilities that he has, he just kind of stumbles into it. And so for the past few weeks, he's been going around trying to find airfare out of the city. Nice,
awesome. And because we hit 52 patrons, Skag's got a special poll for you guys. So it says that, which sounds awful. Who will get a dark vision? Go ahead and vote on that one, guys. And we'll see who gets this interesting one from Skag. Okay, cool. So we all know a bit about our characters, a bit of backstory. So Skag, do you want to dive us into the action here?
Yeah, so we need a little bit of setting the mood kind of thing.
Ooh.
War.
Counts roleplay after dark, everyone.
There we go.
Is a region as much as a raging hate between two nations. Before, the streets were filled with laughter and memories shared at the local pub. Now it's all in rubble, and the joy is exchanged to screams, tears, and strong feelings of losing people you love. Once the fields outside was for children to play at, but now devoted for the young soldiers' graves. On the streets we have the war machines patrolling, seeking for the next prey, our enemy, our hate. The peace that had a calming wind over our lands is now a storm of cannons, fire, and gunpowder. Tearing our lives apart, piece by piece, we change our strong will to just a soulless shell of a body. It's been weeks of this, fear and hate, waves of aggression and panic. We are looking upon a battlefield of smoking destruction, a place we once called our home. Even if it all ends, even if we win, if we conquer our own enemy, what then? What then will be left of our home? Who will be left for us to love? How much of this can we endure? How much before it's not worth it anymore? Soon it will all be deaf and no one left to care for. Soon it will be all quiet and empty. And that is where we start. At a small little pub that all kind of knows, and everybody is sitting down. I believe it is Boris and Theo that is kind of starting it out.
Yeah.
And the topic of the discussion is actually the mayor's health that has kind of declined very rapidly.
Okay.
And you both know that he has not months or years, but more or less weeks or maybe even days to do what he needs to do before the rest goes really bad for you.
Yeah.
So that is the discussion, the mayor's bad health.
Okay.
And as you want to, or when you kind of feel it's right, you can just stumble in the rest of the players and make
Sure.
a little bit of an entrance where you introduce yourself a little bit, what you wear, how you smell, what you smoke, something that is kind of pushing your character forward. So the first scene is with Fyodor and Boris sitting down and talking a little bit about the mayor's bad health.
Nice. So I'm going to say to Fia, so I hear that it's not going so well.
We're at this bar, kind of talking amongst ourselves,
Should I mute
right?
myself on Zoom?
Yeah, so it starts out with Fyodor and
Have myself
Boris
muted,
first. And you other guys are coming in at your own pace, kind of making your own entrance when you feel this is the perfect time for me to do my entrance. This is how I look and how I do it. I smack open the door and looking all around, or you peeking through, then coming in. You can do your own description on.
Sure, I'm gonna turn to Theo and say, I hear it's not going too well for our friend the mayor, what with the old shot to the face.
I'm sure he'll be able to come through. I mean, don't you have a friend in that young nurse that you met recently? I mean, I'm sure that, we can ask her to keep a special eye. You have to have faith, my friend.
I'm afraid Matilda is rather busy, what with all of the injuries. I'm not sure that she's allowed to take favourites. I could ask her, of course, but it seems to me as if, the inevitable is coming, my friend. I did not think he would survive this long.
Well, perhaps a visit is in order.
Yes. Do we know if he has any living relatives, Skagger? Like someone who might inherit this? Well, it's probably not inherited, but if there was someone that might.
No,
King Mayor was not actually the mayor; he was the king. And his name was literally Mayor.
King Mayor. No, he has no relatives. He has been duking it out on himself. He has a very large piece of the population rooting for him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to fill his place for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't think of anyone that will step up to the task. Really, what with the war still going, we'll need a strong leader.
About that time, Zani walks in, his mechanical arm steaming and making all kinds of mechanical noises and stuff, and he sets down to the bar next to Boris and gives him a nod. Zani has just a warmth around him from all of the motion and mechanics going on around him.
I'm fascinated by you immediately, especially your arm. Whoa, hello, good sir. And I step in to shake your hand, or your specifically your arm. I go in to shake it, but basically it's my hand reaching to touch it and fiddle with you.
I take the arm out of the way and I put forward my my right hand, because I don't know left or right. Right hand said,
how did this come to pass, my dear fellow? This is quite quite fascinating. Did someone do this? I really must I must speak with them and their practices if this is the case.
"Yeah, you look no further than your father."
Ah, I like sour. Yes.
It is a rather marvelous craft of his, I must say.
Yes, indeed. And I should have noticed the craftsmanship, of course, yes.
And about that time, I take one of the empty vials on my shoulder, and I ask the bartender to fill it up with whiskey. And when he does, go on. I'm sorry.
No, he looks at the vial kind of strangely. Okay, and fills it up and hands it back to you. He's not the one who's been here the longest, but yeah.
And I screw it in, and it some mechanics and steam starts happening, and you just see it start draining. And I unscrew it and hand it to him for another one.
Well, we were just discussing the mayor's health. He didn't seem to be doing too well.
At this point, Theo kind of just leans over the bar past Boris's. Hey, mate, we're here too, and I kind of nudge Elijah over here. It's good to see you.
Yes, me. I'll step closer, inching closer to him, taking a seat next to him, obviously, and kind of set my shield down next to me and look over and be like, "Morning, brother." Good morning, brother.
Around this time, while
Sometimes he's silent.
Trevor just doesn't like Elijah, apparently.
He just,
I was talking to my brother Theo.
Oh,
Over there.
dude, we've been next to each other for like an hour.
I was zoning out. I was in my own world. I was picturing the war. My bad.
PTSD.
Yeah, it certainly has been a rough couple weeks, hasn't it? Well, like you said, it's good to see you too. I mean, we've been hanging out all day, but it's still here, huh?
Yeah, no, it's still here. Yeah, I just got lost. Thanks for pulling me back. What's going on?
I order a drink and I pass to Elijah, and just we're here meeting up with some old friends before we go see Mr. Mayor.
Right.
I kind of give him like a hard pat on the shoulder, kind of hurting my hand on his armor, but just kind of, you can obviously tell that Elijah's in a bad place right now, so offering an extra hand to kind of ground him a little bit better.
Cool.
Yeah.
When the bartender hands me the next vial of whiskey, I lean in to say, Theo doesn't need any more, and I screw it in.
I think the door will open. The door to our little fancy tavern will open up, and Fable will wander in. He's he's an older gentleman, not like terribly old, but like he looks like he's had even though he's finely dressed in some finery, it's got dust and all that stuff on it, probably from the war. He's down and out, but he used to be a fine gentleman. He comes in smoking his pipe with a cough, like, and he's going to make his rounds around the bar and, subtly ask individuals that he thinks is worthwhile whether or not they've heard of any, airships or anything leaving town that are, going to be safe. So we'll eventually wind up at you guys, no doubt.
Aren't you that Fable fellow?
I am.
Or are we already good friends? Do we know this, or are we?
I
We are.
I was under the
Yes.
understanding we're all pretty much like bros.
Okay.
Bro.
That's good to
Like
know.
our dads and moms all hung out with each other.
Yeah, since
Especially after the war.
yeah,
So I mean, we've seen each other. We
Yeah.
know each other.
That's
Yeah.
Maybe
I
not
was
seen each
like
other in a while, perhaps. Maybe not recognize them at first glance, but
Yeah.
we all know each other, right, Sky?
Yeah, the fathers or mothers, the heroes before the war that is now, giving back to the 20 or 30 years I talked about before. Those are the heroes and the parents of you, and you have hang out since the heroes hanged out. So the people were those who left behind. They hanged out together.
Right.
Hence the new guys.
We're following family tradition.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of.
So
Well, in that case, I
Yeah.
probably wasn't asking for like a ride out of town. I probably just came back from an expedition looking for one. So I'm going to join them back at the bar. Order a pint and enjoy my time with my friends then.
good to see you, Fable. How was your last exploration trip?
Nothing's leaving the city that isn't getting shut down.
Yes, well, we're more concerned about the mayor of Current with his current health. It doesn't look like that looks like his ship is sinking somewhat.
Well, all things considered, I suppose he's doing better than most people that have been shot in the head.
That is true. He has done rather remarkably well. I thought him dead, but he has survived another few weeks, it seems. We'll see if he lasts another. We're planning to go off to see him at some point.
Have the doctors told you what his affliction is?
He is struck with a terrible case of shot in the head.
Ah.
Yes, deadly to most. Not our mayor yet, it seems, but it looks
The whiskey drains a little faster.
At this point, Theo's had enough to drink that I'm kind of like just studying Fable's, the wound. Like, that's a good shot. It's a miracle, mate. You should not be standing, let alone drinking. And I order him another drink.
Oh, yeah.
I I'm like, it's my father's work. Like it's a bad thing. And also, Tool School wanted
If
to.
that's my dad. Like, I'd be so. Please don't do that to a skag.
The Tool School wanted to give his monthly Wild Magic Surge to Raffian. So, Raf, could you roll us a D10K? And we'll see what happens. Perfect at the bar. What's up, Godblind Games? That is pretty serious. Being shot in the head is a pretty serious case, if you guys didn't know.
He has a terrible affliction of
Yeah.
shot in the face.
Yeah. He's like, he was like 10 feet away, and a guy just like blasted him with a pistol. He was like, I'm still standing. Alright, so what was that roll, Raf?
Came out to 8,328.
8,328. All magic rings within 50 yards turn to crystal. Oh.
My rings!
I mean, yeah. Was gonna go somewhere with it else, but
You guys notice at this point, I'm like chugging down like my 5th beer or my 5th ale, and all of a sudden just this.
what happened to all of our rings?
A couple bolts rust on my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so any kind of small tinkering stuff turns into this strange crystal. So if you have like a small trinket being a small watch or like a small pendant or anything that is really small but still a trinket, it kind of changes up to this crystal state.
Gotcha.
My bolo is now crystal.
Theo hasn't noticed it yet, but later on he'll see that on Ethel, his revolver, where there was once just the golden flower design on it, there's now also intricate specks of crystal within it. So silver with gold and then crystal within the flowers.
He's just got cooler.
Yeah, my character wears a medallion on like a chain around his neck, and that as well has changed.
Yeah,
Nice.
I would definitely say all the bolts and partially, and some of the gears, random gears turned to crystal in my arm.
Nice. Also, shout out to Godblind Games. We met at Gamers Fest. Or Games Fest. What's up, dude? Good to see you. New friends from Games Fest. Yay. As this happens on the rings, I'm like, I really ought to think we should see the mayor. If things like this are happening here, then I worry for his health even more. Let us go and find him. In his house? Where is he staying at the moment? In the hospital?
Yeah,
Probably-
he's staying at the hospital.
Nice.
Never mind.
Yeah, shut up, you Theo. You don't know anything. off to
I
the,
slam down my whiskey.
off
I pick
to
up his whiskey.
the place. Yeah, Boris has enjoyed. I think like it's probably been the thing where we've been staying here all day drinking since midday, and
Again.
and so again,
A nice level of day roasted.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And we're in that kind of mood where it's like we should do something. Like we should go somewhere.
Let's go out.
Let's go out. Yeah. And there's that one guy that's like, let's not go out. And everyone else is like, come on, let's go. And then he gets dragged
Shut
out.
up, you.
Yeah. We're going.
I'm
Hey,
going first.
yeah, you're going first now. You'll be the first to suffer. I mean, have fun. And thank you so much to Godblind Games for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Good to see you here again. So yeah, I'm gonna like bust out into the street with my my moustache and my goggles like raised up to my head to head into the street to find out. Basically, he's dressed like an RAF officer from like World War II, essentially. And he's
I
gonna head
follow
off to
after
the-
just way too stable than I should be for as drunk as I am.
disturbingly.
Can I get 2 road beers and I'll head on with them?
Road beers.
Hey, where's the time of war, baby?
So, where can we find the mayor's house in our current state easily? Or the mayor hospital, wherever he's staying? I forgot which one it was.
Yeah, it's in a special kind of flat or part of the
Little apartment. Yeah.
at the hospital.
Okay.
So you are trying to make your way through the streets. It's kind of empty and really trashed out. It is in rumbles. There are a couple of houses that are still kind of doing this crackling sound, almost giving way. when there is a big caravan coming through the town, and they are pushing the carts, and you see these are the guys who put up the dead bodies on top of each other and just takes them some. And Theodore, you see a young boy holding a small letter in his hand, and he is lying on top of the bodies.
Does this boy look familiar to me?
Yeah, you remember him a couple of weeks ago. He was really ecstatic that he found you, and you wrote him like a signature or something like that on a handkerchief.
That sounded like road. Like you rode him like a signature.
Rode him.
He was a small boy, and he felt even smaller at the time. I kind of get Boris's attention. I kind of give him a notion as I walk towards the cart. You know, not telling him to come with me, just so he knows I'm taking a quick detour. And
yes, a cart, and I follow you as well. The
the
mayor's house.
I put my hand up and I just kind of push Boris back a little bit, and I say, "Just give me a second, mate," and I'll continue to the cart and to the boy, and I'll see what exactly happened to him. Did he get shot? Like,
yeah, he seems to have like a good set of penetrating shots all over. So probably being blasted by those machine guns coming off the airships.
Nice.
I curse very heavily under my breath, and I take note of the letter in his hand. I will grab that from him and say a quick silent prayer. Make sure his eyes are closed, of course. I'll tell the person handling the cart to take special care of the boy, and I'll give whoever I don't know if he's an undertaker or whatever, but I'll give him just a small handful of gold, probably like 20 gold or something, just to take extra care of him.
Yeah, he says that he could place him in a single grave. Other than that, we will kind of burn everybody and have like a memory part of the fields.
While he's talking to the Undertaker, can I do like a perception check to see if any of the bodies were taken by poison or some kind of chemical warfare or anything that may have to do with alchemy or chemicals?
Yeah, sure.
Just out of my own. 14?
No bad. No bad.
Yeah, you see that these corpses are more being exposed to like machine guns, bullets, explosions. So they have been lying here for quite a while. They are now kind of going through the rumbles and everything and finding bodies. So they're taking care of them. So probably a couple of weeks. So
I was more or less looking for like any advancements in war tactics, any like new weapons that we should be looking out for.
Yeah, so you didn't see any traces of different kind of chemicals on them, or their bodies have not been reacting differently or anything like that. So,
no Agent Orange or anything?
No.
Gotcha.
Effects going on. But Theodore, you see that the letter is your own handwriting. So he has kind of hold that dear to his heart.
I'll just kind of tuck it in my coat pocket as I walk back to our party.
I'll approach Theo and kind of, doing the whole brotherly love, just put my arm around him and kind of guide him back over to the party, bring him back into the flock.
Yeah, you sense that he has been really touched by whatever happened at the car.
Probably an angel.
Touched by an angel.
I was touched by a small boy.
Oh, whoa.
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 Christ.
You guys had to make it weird, didn't you? You had to make it weird. He's an angel now. You said it yourself. Oh my god. Banned.
Ban him.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
On to the mayor's house, quickly.
We
We've
must
had-
away.
Yes.
So you make your way up to the hospital where he now resides. There is a really quiet feeling about the corridors you are going to. People are being really having this war getting to them, so they are really pondering and thinking about what is needed to do for the next step. And you find the mayor in a bed. He has his own rooms. He has his own kind of furniture being brought up there, and he sees a lot of you. He has been like your uncle in a way a couple of times, and he kind of shines up. He has this eye patch, and kind of shines up, and you see that depending on when you met him last, he has been taking a toll for the worse. He has not so much a voice left, and the once kind of sturdy man is now a skinny person who is having less and less of a color in the skin, so he's slowly fading away.
Nothing wrong with that, Skeg. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to step forward to him and say, "Dear Mayor, I've forgotten your name. Does he have a name?"
It's Mr.
It's Mr. Mayor.
Who's Mr. Mayor? So that's Mr. Mayor to
His
you.
name is Ala Colette.
Colette, okay. So I'm gonna. Oh yeah, Alain. Yeah, okay, yeah. So he's like French. So I'm gonna say, Alan. How you doing, old chap? How are you holding up? You look fit as a fiddle.
He tries to give out like a small smile as he hears the positive notes. I have something to say. Come closer.
Yes. Well, what is it, friend?
I step in as well.
We are. I lean in as well.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm standing in the doorway.
You all have been like my own boys, you know. There is something that I have sworn not to tell you. There is your own parents didn't meet. This is hard. I thought this discussion would be easy, but it's not. Your parents had the airship was, in fact, the one key to our victory, and I need you to guide us to peace. The airship is quite the trip away, but I believe you are the people to do it. I will give you keys and a way to reach it, but the trip is for you if you want to take it.
Yeah.
Looks through to you as a whole group.
How many people can fit in this fabled airship?
4.
Is it fabled or
Well-
fables?
As long as you are yay high.
Yeah, 4.5.
Trip only takes yay high people. He kind of calculates a little bit in his own mind. Probably not needed, but the mayor is not really himself. I believe it's at least 50, 60, maybe 80.
So we could take some people with us. Why?
Not can we? We'll need to.
Yeah.
Like, we can't pilot that thing just like 5 people.
Well,
probably.
I'm pretty sure I could actually.
I turn to Boris and I give him, a hard slap on the back and I say, "Of course, this man can do it single-handedly. What are you talking about?"
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I forgot Boris was here. I'm sorry.
I'd like to grab Elijah with my mechanical arm and pull him close.
my.
Did we just get a part?
I kind of look at
I've got a big alarm.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations. I turn and look at him. Seems that way, brother. Seems that way.
I give him a hearty pat and lean intently in towards the mayor.
Everybody's patting me today. I feel
Yeah.
so loved.
I kind of turn towards those two and I give them kind of a stern look. No, fuck you. A stern look like, dude, time and place. Our friend's about to die.
Good job, bro.
Slap. Oh shit.
Skag, is there can I don't know, like if it would be an inside role, but is there anything that it seems the mayor's still holding back from us?
And thank you to Fenris1971 for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for joining us.
That was not what he was holding back.
Oh. My bad.
How many more followers do you have in there, Mayor?
Tell us now.
Sorry.
You sense if you roll the dices.
I will roll the dice.
You sense it if you roll the dice. It swings it up. We've also hit
That's a
20
19.
retweets, Skag. Oh boy. It's now a good time for a viewer decision, Skag.
Yeah, do it.
All right, so underneath this line in the chat, guys, thank you for 20 retweets. Underneath that line that you see in the chat, throw us some ideas as to what could happen next in our story. Maybe the mayor turns into a giant evil pigeon of death. Maybe not. Maybe something else happens. You guys throw
What
us
is
some
the mayor
ideas.
holding back from?
What's he holding back from? Who knows? Maybe he's got an even deeper, darker secret he hasn't been able to tell us. Throw us some ideas in the chat. We'll get them into a straw poll, and the most popular decision will happen. I'll do the poll, Skag, seeing as you're
the mayor is secretly a robot who somehow, without having any biological components, is the biological father of us all.
Biological.
That seems plausible.
That's a
Mechanical
strange
splatter
sperm
daddy.
banky kind of thing.
Definitely.
Mechanical splatter daddy.
Gave birth to us.
Splat.
Hey, Skag, quick question. So at this point, is the mayor like dying on his deathbed right now? Is that what we're saying?
Probably within a day or two. So
Within
it's
a
not
day or two.
dying right now.
Okay. I don't know what the typical custom is for like respect or whatever, but I have my large shield. I just kind of want to place it into the ground and like take a knee, kind of like honoring him and his service so far.
It's actually just shoot him in the face. That's the general mark of respect.
Just
Mayor?
And to be fair to Theo's insight check, ever since the mayor got shot in the face, he's pretty see-through. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you say that in game? Because that will not end with that will.
no in game.
Okay.
I'm
very
still
good
just standing quietly while my arm's hissing and letting off steam.
Mhm.
In this kind of scene, there comes in a couple of doctors. They're saying that he needs a couple of minutes for the medicine, but you are free to sit in the wait room for a little bit. And you see it as a time to reflect on the party bus. You got the map, and you got the keys, so you can kind of go through it all a little bit and go back to the mayor and say your ideas and thoughts about it. So we are shifting on to, it should be on the top left corner.
Top left corner, roll 20. I could probably show this on stream, couldn't I? That would be useful.
It could be.
It could be. I don't want to be useful though. That wouldn't be
When
good.
did viewers need visual aids?
Skag, I think I missed it. Did you already
It's
answer my
spreading.
insight?
Your what now?
My insight check. Did you already answer it?
Yeah, no, but yeah, you sense that there is something he wants to add, But then, as the
Decision.
doctors came in, it kind of got a little bit disrupted. So there is something that you could.
Gotcha. We just don't know what it is. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm getting a straw ball together now, so it won't be too long. Okay. I'm going to.
Looking at the map, you
Yeah.
know that let's see, reveal area. They are pointing out to the far. What should it be? East.
If east is right, yes.
Yeah.
Never eat shredded wheat, Skagif.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Could I get that in longitude and latitude, please?
No. The east are kind of like a couple of days if you have some sort of transportation. So you'll have to set up camp and stuff on the way. But it's a feasible journey for sure. And it's
Nice.
not that far away.
Okay.
Are there motorcycles in this world?
There are some kind of vehicles, like not like cars, but I mean it's steampunk, so there are some like
Motor coaches, baby.
carts that is driven by diesel and steam.
So like a really fucked up Model T.
Yeah, somewhere there.
There's probably trains too, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
trains.
there has to
Oh,
be
yeah.
train.
Yeah,
No.
trains.
Do I know if there's a train that heads towards the direction we need to go?
No, the train actually goes straight southeast.
Well, that's useful.
Nope, not for you. So you are going for more like the mountainsides, and you sense that they probably hide it in a place where many people venture to. But yes, on your maps or the map that you got, there are a note of a village, and the marks are really close there. So you know that there is some sort of civilization up there. You haven't been traveling that past up yourselves.
Could I roll a history check to see if I'd read anything about like this,
Yeah, for sure.
the airship or the population that lived up there?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I'll do that now.
No!
Ooh, look at that! A gentleman's nine.
A gentleman's nine.
A gentleman's night.
So you have heard about civilizations past your city, but it is so far out. Probably more like
Far
small
out, man.
villages and people living very off the grid.
Okay.
So probably like they have no electricity or no steam, no anything of that.
Oh well.
Fable just furrow his brow and keep racking his brain over in the corner, trying to think of something.
At this point, can Theo kind of usher anyone, like any of the doctors or anything, to like knowing that the mayor has something he's holding back? Is there anything I can do to get the room to ourselves again, whether it's persuasion or intimidation? I don't mind intimidating the fuck out of people, by the way.
I'm gonna definitely.
I got really dark.
I'm gonna definitely help him with this. My large, almost like 7 foot tall, just hulking brute in his full armor and shield. Yep, I'm with him, pushing
Well,
doctors over.
Well, Skag, do they just go, or do I have to, or
Yeah, you
am I?
have to do like do you want it to be persuasion or do you want it more intimidation or?
I mean, I'll do a persuasion. If that doesn't work, I'll do an intimidation. Like, can we have the room? Sorry, get the fuck out of the room.
I'll add my intimidation to his persuasion. So while he's trying to persuade them, I just want to stand there looking intimidating, like I'm the other option if you don't listen to him.
Yeah, so what is your bonus modifier in intimidation?
Intimidation 3. Am I reading this correctly?
Yeah, so regarding that you two help each other, you should get like a advanced kind of thing. You do the 24.
Nice.
How do you want to do it? How do you
Uh,
plan doing it on to the doctors?
I mean, I'm just gonna ask respectfully. Can we please have the room for just a few moments longer? There's some things we'd like to discuss. If you don't mind coming back in just a short while.
And at that point, I'll rise up, lifting my shield and kind of stepping up behind him, being like, looking at them like, okay, now's the time to leave.
Yes, gentlemen.
They first kind of, yeah, we have other things to do, maybe. And there is one other doctor that has not really engaged in the discussion, that is more in his notes. He looks at the notes and goes, well, we are okay, we can go. So they kind of go away from you and find a room that they've previously been to. Well, we are back. We have something more to look at, I guess.
I'll again guard the doorway.
Yeah, as soon as it seems the room is secure from prying eyes and ears, I'll go ahead and turn my attention back to the mayor, and I'll say, friend, it seemed like there was something that you're not quite telling us, something more you want to say. Now's the time to say it.
And he kind of tries to sit up and slides down a little bit in the bed.
I kind of help him position himself how he needs.
Assume the position.
Shut up.
You see that he has no more kind of control and muscles is not really there, so he's kind of being really and he kind of tries to lead him a little bit, doesn't really need to. There is one more thing. To drive to make the Dawnbreaker move, you need to control it with your own blood.
What? That's an awful thing. How much blood?
That's a good question.
Your entire body. No, he kind of gives out he doesn't really know kind of face.
I'm sure the thing's going to have an instruction manual. It'll be fine.
Does it have to be ours, or can we take a sample from elsewhere?
Well, Fable's blood works because he's been around the whorehouses and stuff. I don't think they want his blood.
Yeah, the ship will just start falling
got
apart. We'll give our airship aids or something.
Syphilis, actually.
Syphilis, of course.
Flying aids.
At this point, though, Theodore will kind of just ignore everyone else, and I'll kind of put a hand on the mayor's chest, kind of calming him down, and I'll tell him, I'm more than prepared to spill some of my own blood for this war. The ones that we've already lost and the ones that we're yet to lose, it won't be for nothing. However much it takes, we'll finish this.
I want to kind of do the whole dwarven bang on your shield, real quick, respect. I second that.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Yeah, definitely.
The doctors in the hallway are like, "What the fuck was that?"
What'd you do that for? What's wrong with you?
I just imagine an exasperated, yeah, bro, after that. I don't
Just
know.
hear them.
Or just a grunt.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Right. So he nods and says that the nation needs a guiding star.
Yes. Guiding star. Is that an actual star, or do you mean at like one of those talent shows we used to have
I
before
We're
the
talking
war?
about the one in the north.
Yeah. No, it's a figure of speech. I think he's talking about the thing he was literally just talking about.
Huh.
Is this one that we got to follow straight on till morning, or?
Yeah. Well, angels come tell us about it in the second coming of Christ. It's a big thing.
Okay.
I'll continue to say,
Such trolls.
I'm no leader. I can't lead the people, but I can definitely be the spearhead against our enemies.
Yeah. Before all of this, your parents were the guiding stars to something great. Hopefully you can take up the ring.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. Ah, yes, we will be fine.
I don't say anything to that. Obviously, Theodore doesn't like being told that he can step into his father's shoes, but understanding the situation, the sentiment, I'll give a respectful nod and a smile.
And thank you to Donny Longnames for following. Welcome to Leave Edge, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Appreciate it, my friend. 2 followers away from another viewer decision now. If you guys haven't voted in this straw poll yet, we've got some ties, so let's see if the next vote will break that tie. I'm just gonna.
The ship is filled with legendary weapons.
I'm gonna be really awkward when it comes to saying goodbye to Lemaire. I'm gonna be like, well, it's been an honor. I'll see you next time. Tally ho.
I'd like to stand by his bed until everyone else has said their goodbyes.
I'm gonna kind of
Deuces.
Sorry, go.
I'm gonna step away. I'm not gonna say my goodbye yet. I'm gonna actually want a moment alone with my friend. Feeling very responsible for letting him get shot.
I wasn't shot.
Shut up. You're about to be. So I'll just kind of take a step back as well. Hopefully, I'll be allowed to be the last one to say goodbye.
Everybody wants to be last. I'll step outside the room.
I'm gone.
I'll follow suit with the rest of the gentlemen out of the room.
Does it seem like he's about to die? Like, are we just like falling, saying like,
I thought he said that
"You're dead, mate. See you later." Like, does he have a little more time left?
Yeah, he has probably like a day or maximum.
But we're leaving, right? You told us pretty much.
But at the same time, you probably should be leaving.
This is going to be the last time we'll see.
For the airship.
I will give Theo and him some alone time, but I'm not leaving the room. I definitely don't want Theo to know what I'm going to do.
All right, that's fine. In that case,
it's about to get real hard.
Theo, again, go back to the mayor and he'll say, I do feel very personally responsible that this is happening to you. And while there's nothing I can really do to save you at this point, and at this point I'll start to take off my signet ring from my family, the one thing that identifies myself as my father's son, and I'm going to replace my ring with, I assume he has a ring or something on as well. I'll replace my ring with his ring and say that, I might not be able to save you now, but you're just as much a hero. And putting his ring on, I'll carry you through this war if I have to.
Welcome.
And give a nod and walk away.
Just like El Sicko. Welcome, my friendly adventurer. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
I thought you were calling me a sicko.
You sicko!
You sick bastard!
I'm touching.
You're robbing him.
I gave him something more valuable.
Well, your ring is crystal now, actually. So
I was going to say you replaced the crystal ring with the.
No, mine's not a magical ring. It was just a regular ring, regular signet ring.
Nice.
So Ina has a ring that identifies him as family to one of the heroes of the last war, and I have something of his to carry him through this war. So I say my goodbye. I walk out.
After seeing Theo walk out, I walk to the mayor, and I hand him a vial, and I say, if the pain ever becomes too much or you're just ready to leave this, and I give him a gentle pat on the chest and walk out. I basically gave him like enough morphine to kill him.
I thought you were just gonna straight up walk over and kill him.
I thought you were gonna smother him with a pillow or something like that.
Yeah, I seriously thought you were just about to be like, "You're done now."
I figured Theo would have a problem with me giving him an out, so I
Not at all. but good to know you were thinking of my feelings.
I was. It's me. So yeah, just give him a gentle pat and walk out.
Yeah, sure. You guys, you meet up a little bit outside the corridor leading up to this. And Theodore, you need to roll a perception check.
May I ask if it's for what he just did?
No.
No? Different? All right.
You may not ask.
No.
Well, no, because I mean, I would have already left the room for that. But yeah. Perception,
Still.
natural 20, 24.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
She sees everything.
What is that?
We're in a game.
Oh, my God.
This is a false world.
Breaks the
I'm
fourth
not
wall.
actually British.
I will put in a token right on the city here. And do you remember?
Oh my God, it's God.
Oh, my God.
I've seen God, you guys.
You've met him at last.
But actually,
Actually, for real. Not the fake Jesus.
Do Theodore remember who that?
Do I remember who it was?
Yeah.
Is he my father?
No.
oh, my father.
Not everything is about your dad, okay?
You see that person walks into the room as the doctor tending to him, and when he kind of closes the door, and you are now like a good pace away in the corridor, you see it in the corner of your eye, and you don't really recall it, or you don't really realize why this kind of image is set in your mind, but there is something off. And when you give it like a couple of seconds, trying to recall it, you hear the talk of the group, but like a shock state, they are just a mumble. You still hear this, there is something to him. And you remember him, he was with Pierre when there was an alteration at the mayor firm.
Oh, he was the guy I let escape.
Yeah.
Well, let run away like a bitch. Do I notice him noticing me, or do I just notice
No.
him?
Now that you remember who it was, you're looking back, he has, as a doctor, gone into his room, closed the door, and it's been a couple of seconds at least.
Into the mayor's room?
Yeah.
I will run back, pulling out Ethel, and I will kick open the door.
So you see the rest of you, how Theodore is starting to run without a note or anything and draws his guns.
I follow him. Go onwards!
I
And-
have the shield. Yeah. Words.
As
Love it.
soon as I kick open the door, I don't care what this guy is doing. I'm shooting him in the spine.
Oh, God.
I let him get away once. I'm not that merciful to let it happen twice.
I mean, he didn't really do anything this time, is the difference.
He was coming in to say
Guy.
You crossed me again!
Crossed my path.
Yeah.
Right?
He has due process. You can't charge him for the same crime twice.
This is wartime.
He's
Is
just
it-
coming in to say he's sorry and being like,
Yeah.
don't worry, I'm going to pay all these 6 adventures, like awesome legendary weapons and recompense for...
Kill him!
So yeah, so I'm
feel
gonna
it,
run in and I'm gonna take a shot in his spine.
Yeah, so you're kicking in the door.
Yeah,
who is-
not so much to take like a kill shot on his spine, but more just somewhere on the spine that will paralyze him. So let's see how I do on that.
You're shooting the cripple?
No, he's not crippled.
No,
I'm
you're
going.
shooting
He's
to
about
cripple.
to be.
I'm shooting to cripple him. Don't worry, he won't be
Yeah.
crippled for long.
What next? You're gonna shoot to vegetabilize?
So
So who is after Theo? Is that Boris or?
I'll be after Theo if I can be.
Yeah, I'll
well,
go.
does my 13 hit?
That brotherly love.
Yeah, so what happens is when you break up the door and your fingers on the trigger to do this shot, you see him standing by the bed of the mayor. His hand is on his forehead, and Fable senses this kind of strange energies going off in between those two, and the thing that is kind of showing for everyone is a small green glimmering hue in between his standing person palm and the mayor who's laying down in his kind of face when he's holding his hand over.
Can I sense whether or not it's like, should I roll like an Arcana to see what he's doing?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana first.
Gentleman,
Yeah.
17.
There we go.
You're sensing a strong psionic spell that is kind of drawing something out of the mayor.
Well,
Oh,
I
boy.
guess it's a reaction. If that's, I guess it's my turn, or I don't know. You let me know. But just kind of as a reaction, just to see that, I'll use command, a first level spell.
We can roll initiative, so
Sure.
everybody gets their fair.
When I shoot him, does he continue doing this though?
Yeah, we will go through the initiatives. So
Well, since I started that first attack, can I spend a grit point to immediately make another one?
yeah, if you are in the initiative right order for it.
Okay. Initial.
I think old Elijah's going first.
Followed by me.
Fuck you! Not 20!
Whoa! Whoa!
Your father couldn't do that, Boris.
Never mind.
You're your own man.
I'm
You make-
fast as the wind!
He's like in the far back, just like all the way down the hall. Just like,
He's like, I'm first. Good game, ED.
Fable walked in the room like second, and then just started a coughing fit, like coughing.
Boris, you have the opportunity to do something.
And,
You're not really seeing everything, but you sense there is something wrong in the room as is.
can I fire? Do I see the guy? Can I shoot him with a crossbow?
Yeah, you could probably go in and shoot with the crossbow, but with a disadvantage. as
Okay, yeah.
I believe the advantage should lie on Theodore.
Sure. 10.
So you set a bolt in the bed kind of post.
Ah!
You almost shot the mayor in the face again!
I think I got him!
Don't worry, it was the eye he can't see out, so you wouldn't know who done it.
It's what he wants!
He doesn't have that peripheral anymore.
So next to the table is 20, Elia.
Yeah, Elijah, I think next.
oh, my turn. I missed that. Okay. Seeing what's going on, I guess I'll run over and try and pin the dude sucking souls. I'll pin him up against the wall with my shield. Is that something I can run up and attempt?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
I was trying to find like a shield attack. I didn't find anything on that, so I don't know what it would actually be. Maybe like a strength check or something.
Why are you trying to grapple him?
I guess it would kind of be a grapple. Yeah, just pinning him up against the wall with my shield. So
So I think it's, I don't know, Skag, is that what, athletics?
I think it's a strength check to actually.
Oh,
get-
just a strength?
I think you can also choose to shove him to the ground if you wanted to, or shove him away as a shove action.
Yeah, then he has the opportunity to withstand it with like a dexterity or something against it.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging the whole just push him up and pin him against the wall. At least that way we can interrogate him instead of just blowing him.
I was kind of wanting to interrogate him too.
Yeah. So what do I need to do to see if I can pin him up against the wall with the shield? Strength or?
Yeah, do it like a normal
Okay.
strength.
I'll do the strength. Nice. Yeah. Good. Solid 7.
Whew. He slips on a bedpan and hits his head.
Well, he's not the most accurate guys in the world either, so
Nope.
he doesn't see you coming at all. So
That's
you
a
could-
nat 1. Holy shit.
Yeah. So you could describe how you pin him up against the wall.
Yeah. Solid. Awesome. I'll go with that. Yeah. Just pushing past my buddy Theo here. I want to run over and quickly just spin him by the shoulder so that he's facing me, and then slam him up against the wall with the shield, pushing my full might up against the shield and kind of lifting him up on the wall there. so that my buddies can come in and have their way with him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it's Will that is kind of destroying his keyboard. If you're wondering who's.
I'm muted on stream. The mic is right next to the ridiculously loud one. So fuck you guys, but everyone else is fine.